Hi, I'm the standard legal ancestral recall. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Kira.
Hi, I'm a 1-mana white 2/2 flyer that domes you for 2 and makes you discard a card. Maya.
What a year it's been.
Oh,
Can you believe it?
I know. We've been alive almost 12 months.
So much has changed.
It's been a pretty hectic 12 months.
This did not exist. We couldn't see you at the beginning of the year. You couldn't see us at the beginning of the year. So much has changed.
It has been a very wild 12 months. It has been chaotic and crazy, but also it's just been so good.
It's been so much fun.
It's been so good. Like, even just like from a content perspective, from a standard perspective, from a Highlander perspective, it has been such a banger of a year. I cannot even tell you. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm very keen for next year. 2025 was a banger.
Well, because we started this year off with Aetherdrift.
We did.
We started we started our engines with Aetherdrift this year, and that was back in February. All of this started back in February of this year when we were at the time strictly a standard focused podcast. Standard was the only format that we were talking about. We were talking about spoilers, decks, PTs and Spotlight Series events, and it was strictly standard. And that's all that we talked about for a very long time. And then a lot of things changed, and then we were, filming video, and then we really got into Modern, and we really got into Highlander individually, and we realized we love competitive Magic, and this show is so much better for us, and hopefully for you as well. Like, this show is so much better when it's about competitive Magic as a whole, and we started Mildly Modern, and then we started Hardly Highlander, and it's given us so much to talk about. It's given us so much room to grow, and it's just been an absolute joy, and it's been so exciting. And none of that, I don't think I saw that happening for us in February.
I would, if you had told me at the end of the year we would be filming live with Magic the Gathering banners after having done a live show, having 5 guests, and expanding into 3 formats, I think I likely would have laughed in your face.
I would have been like, okay, sure, what are you, like me from the future in 5 years? Like,
yeah,
okay.
no, right?
But we are nothing if not ambitious.
No, and certainly not.
This year has been insane. I feel like there's no other way to talk about like how lucky we've been to do this show for ourselves, but also for you, and to bring like constructed Magic from like a critical perspective, from a fun perspective, into the Australian world and the world beyond. Like, going into Modern, going into Highlander, we've had, we did a live show at PAX Australia. We've had 5 different guests on the show. We've gotten to sit down with fantastic Magic players, competitive players, committee members. We've gotten to talk to them about their journeys and their experiences and what they do in Magic. We, cover multiple different competitive formats. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, indeed. Well, just so we can get a little bit of context, do we want to do a recap of the year?
We can do a little bit of a recap of the year. So this year, with all of you joining us along for the ride, we passed 100 subscribers on YouTube, which to a lot of people I feel like doesn't sound like a lot, but that is so much. Like, that's a small village, guys. Like, categorically, that's a small, tiny village. And I cannot believe, and I'm so humbled that there are people who every week want to tune in and hear what's going on in the world of Magic. We passed 100 subscribers on YouTube. We passed 200 followers on Spotify.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Like, I am so unbelievably in awe of our community and our supporters. Like, thank you all so much. Like, it means the world to us. We're doing this because we love it. We're doing this because, we don't mind who listens or who doesn't listen. This is something that we just enjoy doing every single week. And it is so like I am so full of gratitude that so many people want to join us for that ride and want to be a part of those discussions and listen to those discussions. Like I'm always going to be in shock of it.
Oh, for sure. Like, but ultimately, we are two nerds who like to lollygag about Magic, and then at some point they put microphones in front of our face, and we like stumbled our way into into a podcast that we have grown to absolutely adore, and we really hope you do too, because this is such a blast to make, and it is so rewarding to like be able to do things like PAX live shows and to get to meet you all in person. And I hope you guys get as much out of it as we do, because I'm so excited to just keep doing this and keep doing more of this.
We are so lucky that we get to do this.
Oh, well and truly.
We are so lucky that we get to do this. It's been, we've shared 50 episodes in our first season this year. The second season will start in 2026. And hopefully we do just as many. And yeah, it's been really incredible. I think hilariously, currently our most watched episode is our ban list retrospective episode, which was an episode that was recorded in March of this year that was published, I believe, in October as like a this episode was recorded before Corey Steelcutter and Vivi were printed. And how about you listen to us from months ago talking about the state of Standard as a format? And it's the funniest episode I've listened to. I've gone back and listened to it and just been like, oh my gosh, like if only we knew what was coming. We're sitting there being like, I think Standard's fine, actually. People are saying, what is it? The Emberheart Challenger needs to be banned, or Manifold Mouse needs to be banned. I think everything's fine, actually.
Lo and behold.
Little did we know. And throughout the year, the very first episode that we got a dislike on and like negative comments on was a Vivi episode.
Of course.
Because very unfortunately, based on the way that the episodes for like the month had kind of been staggered out, was we had done an Is It Cauldron deck tech, and then immediately the week after the episode that came out was like Vivi is a problem and here's why it needs to be banned. And we got like the most dislikes on the Vivi videos, and we got the most comments of I'm sick of hearing about Vivi. And believe me, we were sick of talking about it as well, to the point where when Vivi got banned, we just said we know, and then moved straight on. Like similar to Corey Steelcutter, there was nothing to be said. You know why it's getting banned. There's no need to dwell on it. There's no need to talk about it. But it was so funny, like the dichotomy of these episodes between like, most streamed being like, haha, like you didn't know what was going to come in the ban list, and then please stop talking about Vivi or Nitiai. I'm sick of hearing about this black mage.
For sure. So I kind of want to like look back and go through what Standard has looked like this year, because it's kind of been a little bit of a wild ride. I feel like we've had like 4 or 5 different formats. Because we started the year with the kind of not quite triangle format, square format, right? Because we had the Dimir mid-range deck featuring Enduring Curiosity. We had the Esper Pixie deck, courtesy of Sanctum of All. We had the Domain Overlords Up the Beanstalk deck. And we had Abuelo's Awakening, which kind of appeared towards the like later end of the format. And this was a format for, I believe, Proto Aetherdrift.
Mm-hmm.
This was such a fun format. I absolutely adored it. It was just, I think because the metagame was so diverse and there was such a like strong undercurrent of incredibly like powerful tier 2 decks, it was the card Unholy Annex was good. You can't be mad at a format where Unholy Annex is good. That card's awesome.
Pixie enjoyer.
Crazy. What?
It's so funny. I would consider that, even though it was the start of the year, that's what I would refer to as like sunset Standard. Like the sun was setting on that style of Standard for 2025. That was kind of, now it's only been a year, but it still feels like that was archaic. Like this tech of Up the Beanstalk and Hopeless Nightmare and Abuelo's Awakening, because those decks quickly went away. Like we had the ban to end all bans this year that cut up the top 8 standard meta decks and just said, goodbye Heartfire Hero, goodbye Monstrous Rage, goodbye Up the Beanstalk and Abuela's Awakening, and This Town Ain't Big Enough, and
Steelcutter.
Corey Steelcutter, obviously. Like, it ripped up the standard format, and I feel like we haven't seen a standard format in kind of that square of like, here are some of like the best decks in the format. And the reason I'm also saying this is that was a standard format with color diversity as well, where you had kind of like this 4-color Overlords deck, a 3-color Pixie deck. You had your Boros Mice, mono red aggro. Like, there was a good kind of rough distribution of color. And then we kind of like steam trained into Izzet.
Yeah, well, because the next format, of course, was the Corey Steelcutter format, right? It was blue-red cutter versus mono-red versus, incidentally, sometimes Orzhov Pixie.
Yeah.
And like that was also an interesting format. And I think there's a lot to be said about the amount that you could explore that format because, of course, the top 2 decks of the regional championship that were for that era of Standard was Black-Red midrange and Dimir midrange, taken down by friend of the show, Jennifer Rose. So it shows that like the deck was very powerful and obviously very good, and Corey Steelcutter is a modern power level card. It's 4-off playable in that format, but it goes to show that even when there is sort of this like homogenization towards one extremely powerful deck, there are angles that let you beat it, and especially in a competitive environment. It's not necessarily all doom and gloom, and especially then when we had the ban rotation 1-2 punch.
Yeah, that was so rough. I even like it's this year of Standard has been so long yet so short. I forgot rotation happened.
Yeah,
like
we lost a bunch of stuff.
Which
we lost Sunfall.
We lost Sunfall, Shieldred. I've been waiting for shit, and I said this in episodes ages ago. I've been waiting for Shieldred to rotate for ages. Like, we lost Leyline Binding.
She had kind of soft rotated already. But
She'd soft rotated because she wasn't good enough anymore.
Just a crazy thing.
Which is crazy. What do you mean Shieldred's not good enough for Standard anymore? 4-mana 4/5 with Death Touch that like shocks your opponent when they draw a card.
I was gonna say 4-mana 4/5 with Death Touch and Lightning Axe seems pretty good.
Like it seems so unbelievably good, but little did we know. No, you know what's insane, right? We're at the end of the year. You know what's better than Shieldred right now? Gran.
Yeah, damn right. Right.
This little old lady is better than the Phyrexian Praetor, Shieldred the Apocalypse.
And so she should be.
And so
who would win in a fight?
Standard has changed so much this year. It is like, again, that's why I say like the start of the year was very much this sunset Standard, because the Standard from the start of the year is unrecognizable to the Standard where we are now.
Oh, completely.
It's not even remotely the same. And that is like a facet of bans, rotations, etc. But like just even in terms of, again, color diversity, there were no white cards in the top 8 of Worlds. Like it was blue, red, X, and then a Sultai Reanimator deck. Guys, the year of blue-red.
And how? And speaking of the year of blue-red, because once we saw the loss of Corey Steelcutter, we saw the introduction of one little black mage who shall not be named, the veritable Voldemort of the Standard format this year. We found Vivi made its way into the format and absolutely dominated for 4 straight months. It was basically Vivi, I think, and the only real competitive like countervailing option was the Screaming Nemesis mono red deck.
Yeah, and so the format was bathed in blood for a period of time. It was red and then sometimes red-blue for a very, very, very long time. And that, I think, I don't want to be brash. I don't want to jump the gun, but I feel like that nearly killed Standard. Only in people's minds. I think people for a period of time, not actually, there's competitive Magic that will continue to exist. There are competitive players that will continue to exist. But Standard as an approachable format because people talk. Everyone is terminally online. Everyone is reading other people's opinions, and other people's opinions where Standard is dead. I don't want to play against VV. I don't want to play against Mono Red. There is no creativity. There's no room for creativity. There's no room for deck diversity right now. And people fully stayed away from Standard for a very, very long time. And even people who hadn't actually been playing Standard were kind of repeating what other people were saying about the format. You see some big content creator say, I'm not playing Arena right now because it's dead, because I just keep going up against VV and Mono Red and I'm so bored. I can't, creators who are trying to make interesting content with new decks were like, I can barely do my job right now because the meta is so unbelievably oversaturated and kind of dead. And that scared me. And that was what I think I had said about Universes Beyond. I was a little bit nervous. Just a little bit nervous that there was a chance that some Universes Beyond cards, if they were absolutely pushed, could have the possibility of making Standard a very negative space. And I think we got very, very close to that line. And only after, I think it was like 2 or 3 really big like Spotlight Series levels of events where VV was pretty much the entire room and online challenges as well. And then we got this promise of, we will ban it in 2 months. And people went, okay. And then people who were interested in Standard, who wanted to play the best deck, didn't want to invest in the format, and they didn't want to pay money to get Cauldrons and VVs, thinking that maybe one or both of them could be banned.
And
it
all
was
of a
hell of a
sudden,
time.
we started making Highlander content.
And then for some reason, we started making modern content, and we started making Highlander content. Crazy. How did...
Yeah, and look, and I'm sure there are design lessons to be learned, and there's like band philosophy conversations to be had, but ultimately, like, that was a big part of Standard for this year, and I am admittedly glad it's over, because now we're kind of in Badgermole Cub, is it lesson 0? And I, for one, welcome our airbending overlords.
It is very cool. Where we are in Standard right now, at least I would say, is far more tolerable.
I would say it's fresh, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting and it's clean, and there's still a lot of room for like development and iteration with the best decks. I think there is real interplay between. This is going to sound a little bit silly, but I think there is real interplay between the various Izzet decks. Like if we pretend we're playing an entirely different card game and there's no such thing as color identity, those 3 decks are different decks, right?
Yes.
They're different in the way they play, they're different in the way they interact, and they have real game against each other. So there is this really compelling Izzet metagame, and I think that's very cool because we didn't have that with VV, right? We do actually have interplay, iteration, almost kind of like triangle format sort of vibes, but even then actually fresher than that, actually more interesting because there is space for the tier 2 decks to come out in force.
Well, and did the VV decks evolve? Yes. For a period of time, they were playing Draconautics Engineer and they were using the exhaust to make a bunch of like hasty 4/4s. Cool. Like, yes, things changed, things improved. It was still frequently between 60 and 70% of the meta, which was just a little bit too high. But yeah, it's really interesting looking now because Izzet Lessons and Izzet Looting are not the same deck.
No.
They are very, very different. Same color base.
Nor is it Prowess.
Yeah, like there is still a difference between these things. The core colors are the same, and I think they do all play Boomerang Basics because it's just good. But, Izzet Lessons doesn't always play Fear of Missing Out. Izzet Prowess doesn't always play Gran. Like, they are still actually quite different decks. They just all happen to be the same colors because these colors are really, really good right now.
And the individual power level and the efficiency of the cards and the colors are really good.
Again, we mentioned in a previous episode, the curve for Standard caps out at 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And 4 is way lower than 3. You've got some of your 4 depending on if that's where your Ouroboros and your Appa Steadfast Guardian are. But even then.
So what was your favorite Standard format? 'Cause I know which mine was.
My favorite Standard format, I kind of want to say it's right now.
Ooh.
Because I'm a Simic enjoyer.
Right, of course.
And so the Simic Omniscience deck, the Simic Jackal deck, the Simic Ouroboros deck, Simic Aggro, I actually do really like Standard right now. And also because even though Is It Lessons won Worlds and was highly represented at Worlds, the various other results that I've seen in online challenges and at various other small level events, like Robert Taylor posts so many results from smaller events, there's kind of a lot of interplay between these. I've seen, I don't think I've seen a result from Bant Airbending combo win, but it places pretty high sometimes. But I have seen like Simic Omniscience when I checked this morning won an event, and I was like, let's go.
Yeah, represent.
Simic Ouroboros is still doing pretty well. There have been, again, like Is It Lessons, Is It Looting has been doing moderately well too. I really like Standard right now. I'm pretty happy with where things are. And this is a little bit selfishly because I love Ouroboros and I do love Badger Mole Cub. But I think the Standard that we're at right now is really interesting in terms of the kinds of decks that we see and what they do and how they win.
Yeah, I think my favorite has to be post Pro Tour Aetherdrift kind of like square format where Orzhov Pixie was one of the best decks in the format, but only Ben Stark was playing it. Ben Stark and me. I called it, just saying. I can't go past my Pixie format. It's just too good.
If there is one thing that you did very well, it was immediately pick up Pixie and say, like, this is a good deck, and it is going to be a good deck this year. And it certainly fluctuated, but Esper Pixie won the Standard 10K Open at Command Fest in a field where people were playing Is It Looting, Is It Lessons, and Bant Airbending combo. Like, you called it in February.
The bird's good.
The bird.
Yeah, it has flying. I wouldn't worry about it. It's a bird. It's a bird. I will say, Standard this year has also been characterized kind of interestingly by its like tier 2 and its fringe decks. There have been a lot of cool things sort of like just boiling under the surface of Standard all year. And while there is definitely a tendency to focus on like the best couple of decks, the tier 0 and the tier 1 decks, the tier 2 decks have been juicy this year. So it begs the question, of the decks, of the like tier 2 decks that you have played, what has been your favorite like fringe nonsense deck?
Favorite fringe nonsense deck? I feel like I'm not remembering the fringe nonsense decks very well now. That's the problem.
I can go first.
Please, you go first.
My favorite fringe nonsense deck of the year, which I am still playing, by the way, is Colstoke Gearhulk combo. Leaves me tongue-tied every time. This deck has my heart. I love it. It's so terrible. It's so garbage bad, but it's so fun. It's so clean. The interactions are just like very juicy. And when you kill someone with it, you feel so powerful. Do not play or buy this deck. It's bad. But, okay. I will never stop loving this deck.
Okay. I have two answers to this.
Okay.
The first answer is Tifa Landfall combo.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Classic, very predictable. Tifa Landfall combo with Bristly Bill and Mossborn Hydra and Ordeal of Nylea. I think it has been really interesting, and I wish there was a way that it could get even better with Badger Mole Cub. I think there is kind of a fringy right now, like mono green landfall deck that is, animating Escape Tunnel and Fabled Passage and then sacrificing them to double your landfall triggers again. I think that's really, really cool. My other answer that I just forgot, I can't tell you because I just forgot it.
You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. We've had almost 50 episodes this year.
I think this is actually going to be our 50th.
Oh my goodness.
I think this is our last episode of 2025.
And should be exactly episode 50.
I think it's exactly episode 50.
That's crazy.
Which is really incredibly cool. Mind you as well, that is consistently, we started in February and we still almost hit an episode per week on average from starting in February, after there were a couple times earlier in the year that we did double releases on a Monday and a Friday. We kind of got away from that. But yeah, 50 episodes. This will be our 50th episode.
Which one was your favorite?
Which one was my favorite? That's a very good question. I think I want to say that my favorite has been our Avatar standard predictions, because I think we got the most correct that time around from having done an episode like that for every set this year. We did standard predictions for Aetherdrift. We were very incorrect. We did predictions for Tarkir Dragonstorm. I think we still missed the mark on a lot of different things there. Like, I don't think we mentioned Corey Steelcutter at all. And I think that's only because it hadn't been spoiled when the episode came out.
I believe so.
And we did it for Final Fantasy, and we did it for Edge of Eternities, and we started getting closer on the mark towards the end of the year. And I think we really hit stride for our predictions episode for Avatar, because we said Wan Shi Tong, Badger Mole Cub. I'm like blanking up, but I know that we said those two were going to be really, really good. And we got it.
Yeah.
I'm very proud, because that is the culmination of a year's worth of looking at sets and looking at standard, and also getting really good advice from Ben Tudman, who taught us a lot about heuristics and about what you look for when new cards in a set come out. And I think that was a really good showing of how much we've learned and how far we've come over the course of a year. That the Avatar predictions episode, I think we were pretty close.
For sure, for sure.
What was your favorite?
My favorite was special guest episode 1 with Ben Tudman.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to have to take a shot for that, because I feel like it's so predictable.
Yeah, a little bit. Look, I think I personally love our special guest series. I think it's awesome. There are a couple now that you've done alone that I've gotten a chance to listen to like a listener, and it's been really fun. I think there was like a lot of insight offered, and I think like Ben is just a really lovely, really good Magic player. So the fact that he was able to like take us through the like predictions episode and help us, and help us develop our skills so that we can bring you better content was awesome. Also, Ben Tudman, by far most quoted individual on the podcast.
Yeah.
Not close.
We need to make him a shirt that says, "I'm Raise the Standard's favorite Magic player."
Yeah. I think if you go back and you watch some of the episodes, there are a couple of memes about like Ben Tudman instead
Is this the best Magic player ever?
Citing sources. Ben Tudman said.
Yeah. Reliable, like researched. Ben Tudman.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Which those are actually the same path.
So next year, looking forward now. We have so many cool sets coming to standard. Yes. We have a Lorwyn. I personally am wildly keen for Lorwyn. We've got Strixhaven. We have a Spotlight series in Australia. The GPs, they're coming back. So exciting.
Spotlight series Brisbane. Spotlight series Brisbane.
Damn right. What are you most excited for?
Selfishly,
ooh,
and out of characterly, I am really excited for Universes Beyond Star Trek, because I am named after a Star Trek character, and it would be my dream come true if I got a preview card, like if we got a preview card that was for Major Kira Nerys.
That would be kind of incredible.
That would make my entire year if that happened. I am so excited. I think as well, I'm really hoping that, because I'm a little bit nervous. I think Star Trek leans a little bit too far in the sci-fi direction, but I'm hoping that it can take a lot of aesthetic direction from the Warhammer 40k Universes Beyond, as well as Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, which I think are two sets that very well integrated the idea of sci-fi and fantasy into a set.
And Edge of Eternities.
And Edge of Eternities as well. Like, I think there is, especially with Edge leading the way, I think there's way more of a path forward for Star Trek. That is a selfish desire. I am seriously most excited for Spotlight series. I have this year gone on a journey of doing professional Magic commentary for competitive events, and I am applying to be a commentator for Spotlight Series Brisbane, and I really, really, really hope that I get to do it, because talking about Magic, if you couldn't tell by the whole year that we've spent doing this, is a passion and a love of mine, and getting to talk about it as it's happening, as you know, as the action is unfolding, is amazing. And I've gotten to do RC9 and RC10 this year here in Melbourne. I've done the Open Series at Plenty of Games for Highlander. It is something that I really enjoy doing and want to continue doing. And I really would love to do commentary for Spotlight Series Brisbane.
Amazing.
What's up for you next year?
I am a woman of simple desires.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to return to Lorwyn.
Yeah.
The original Lorwyn block was before my time, but it's so iconic in Magic that I am still somehow nostalgic for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, the new Evoke Elementals that have been spoiled, the rest of the Shocklands coming to Standard. There is so much cool stuff to look forward to. I am just generally, I'm very much looking forward to Lorwyn. And I don't have to wait that long. It's early January, right?
January 16th is it's the Friday of Lorwyn pre-release. Standard, if you thought Standard was good now, which I think it's in a pretty good spot right now, imagine when every color has access to the full range of shocks that they need. Jund is about to get a lot better. I love Jund decks.
Is about to get a lot better?
It doesn't need to get better right now is the only thing. But yes, is going to get a lot better. It will mean that the Spire Bluff canals, the fastlands aren't going to be fastlands, slowlands, fastlands. It's because they 2 lands or fewer. Fastlands.
Sure.
The slowlands were Crimson Vow, Midnight Hunt. Them.
Yes. You're thinking the Outlaws lands.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Spire Bluff Canal I don't think is going to see any play anymore at all because shocks will be way more efficient.
Yeah, I think they're likely to see play together. But I think the big thing in my mind is that we will see a little bit more of 3 and 4 color decks. We will see decks that are trying to abuse the perfect mana base in ways that's really exciting. We might see the resurgence of the 4 color control deck, which I love with all my heart. I think Standard's going to be really cool next year.
Again, I think this year we've made a lot of jokes, and I make this constantly about like the standard crumbs that we get that we get fed, and we've made this joke specifically about the mana base a lot, where we talk about like we get our verges and we get starting towns and oh yay crumbs, and like they're feeding us well with the rest of the Shockland cycle, and it also means that the mana base for the Airbender Ascension deck is going to get a lot better because they don't have to play multiversal passages, and they probably won't be playing starting towns anymore because they'll have a full cycle of verges and shocks like amongst 3 colors that they can handle, and it'll be perfect mana, and that's kind of scary.
The shock mana bases are going to be good,
but it also means that every other color is also going to be good and have access to a lot better mana. So it means that your unplayed pairings right now, like your Jund decks, like your Teamer decks aren't very good right now either because we're missing Steam Vents. It's like we're gonna see a lot of really cool stuff. Azorius as well. Like we don't have a Hallowed Fountain. We're gonna get a Hallowed Fountain. No. I'm so excited for next year. I think things are gonna be really exciting. And also like as much as like this is, at its core, at its heart, is a Standard focused podcast. But I am still so excited for how things are going to change in Modern. What cards we're gonna see coming into Modern from Lorwyn. The Evoke Elementals, they've very smartly identified what was wrong with the first Evoke Elementals that they made. And they fixed it. And you now need to spend colored mana on the Evoke to get the abilities, so can't abuse them by flickering them anymore. But I'm curious to see kind of what changes in Modern, and I'm curious to see kind of what cards get adopted into Highlander. I always think that's really fun. Like seeing Wan Shi Tong being played amongst a bunch of blue decks is always really, really cool. So here's to another year.
Here's to another year, indeed.
Well, and thank you so much for joining me this year.
No, thank you. It's been such a blast.
Holding hands. And thank you. Thank you for joining us as well. This, again, has just been an absolutely incredible year. Like, I'm tearing up thinking about it. Like, it has been a joy and a pleasure to start this show, to grow it and change it, to go from being audio only to an entire studio. And thank you to Wizards, who has provided us with these beautiful, beautiful banners. Thank you to the Henhouse Studio, where we now, we call this home now, and we record here pretty much every week, every other week. Thank you at home, whether you are on Spotify or on YouTube, for supporting and listening to the show. We're excited to continue making things even better. We've got so many more guests lined up for next year, and we're hoping to even bring more guests onto the show from, locally and internationally. There is so much coming. There is so much room for growth. Magic is amazing. It's about the gathering. And thank you for gathering with us.
And with all that said, that's all that we have for you this year. You can find our releases every Monday at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on Spotify, YouTube, and RSS. You can follow us on social media at Raise the Standard on both Instagram and Blue Sky.
It's Raise MTG.
It's Raise MTG.
We've done this so many times.
That's all we have for you this year.
I mean, it's really good.
It's very cute.
It's really cute.
And then I fucked it.
It's okay. just keep going. We'll leave this in.
And with all that said, that's all we have for you this year. Thank you very much for listening. You can find all our releases on YouTube, RSS, and Spotify. You can keep track of us on social media on Raise MTG on both Instagram and Blue Sky, and you can find both Kira and I on the same platforms at Kira Bobira and at Maya MTG. We release every week at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. A big thank you to the Hen House Recording Studio for the ongoing use of their space. And until next time, remember, have a very happy holidays.